Thank you for tuning in at the Phone Repair Guy. Today's tutorial is an Axon 7 battery replacement. Alright, so first step, you want to go ahead and remove your SIM card, the SIM card tray, in order for it to be out of the way. Go ahead and remove that SIM tray right there, place that on the side. Secondly, you want to grab your heat gun and heat up the plastic top cover and bottom cover on your Axon 7. Slight heat. This is a plastic piece. You don't want to heat it up too much. You don't want to bend those parts. Now with your opening tool, you want to go ahead and get in between the frame and the plastic part and slightly lift and apply the same pressure along the entire plastic part. And just like that, we remove that adhesive, and we'll apply the same amount of pressure on top, in between the frame and the plastic. That's enough heat to remove the adhesive. Now you have a total of 6 regular screws. So your pick or your plastic tool, get in between the frame and the housing. Follow that towards the edge. You're gonna hear some snapping. That's just the clips. Perfect. So now you'll be able to open it. Be very gentle. There's 2 flexes that you want to go ahead and disconnect. Perfect. Now we have 3 screws. Shield protects all the connectors. Now we're eligible to pop this upwards. First of all, you want to go ahead and disconnect the battery, so to make sure there's no electricity inside the circuit, and then we remove the 2 flexes. So you want to remove those flexes. And now we're going to remove the battery. Now we're going to use double-sided adhesive tape to hold the new battery in place. I already applied some here. And now we are ready to install the new battery. Perfect. Now we have our new battery right here. Adhesive is installed. Just apply some pressure. And now we're going to go ahead and repeat the steps back over. We have the 2 flexes and the battery. You want to install the battery at the end. Grab 1 flex for the home button, the fingerprint recognition, and second flex would be used for your volume control. The flexes are a little tricky. You don't want to bend them too much. And now we're okay to install the battery. Alright, now that we have all our flexes in properly put, we're going to go ahead and grab our metal frame that protects those flex from being disconnected. And we apply our 3 screws back in place. I would start with the middle, just so it could be nice and tight in the middle, and work on the both sides. Alright, now we work upon the left, which is your right, my left. There's no specific ways you could do left, right, right, left. Just my preference. It's nice and tight. You don't want to give it too much torque. Just enough to hold that metal protector shield over the flexes. And now we're ready to insert our frame back into the foam housing. So the full housing has to line up. Once again, so you hear some clicking. Once again, you will hear some clicking. That's to tell you that the housing is assembling into the frame. Perfect. Now we have our 4 bottom screws. The second one on the right has a little metal gasket, you could say. It's to be held in place. Perfect. The final step to get that beautiful finished look, we're gonna go ahead and use some double-sided tape. Now with the ZTE, in the bottom you have a speaker release, which is for the loudspeaker. You don't want to cover that with adhesive. You just want to get enough of the 70% on your right hand side of the speaker just to hold this plastic piece in this spot. And now we're going to go ahead and apply some pressure on both ends, and you'll hear a click. Perfect. Get that original finished look for the customers to be extremely happy with their brand new battery. And on top we will be applying more adhesive to hold the plastic layer on top of the screen in place. The same concept, you don't want to block off the speaker, so we can put this dead center on top, like so, where it doesn't interrupt with the front camera. Last but not least, layer on top, plastic layer. Hear those clicking sounds and apply some pressure. Final step, do not forget the most important SIM card tray. This is the old battery from a ZTE Axon 7 with a brand new battery. Alright guys, and that's how you replace your battery on the Axon 7. I want to remind you guys to give us a thumbs up, a like, and a follow, and a subscribe. And also if you have any questions, concerns, just go ahead and give us a comment down below.